So, I mean, I guess that kind of leads us to like PS4, just to kind of circle back to that. Tell us about maybe some of your first games on PS4 and some highlights and what really stood out to you.
Yeah, sure. So like I said, I was kind of a PlayStation guy to begin with. Moved to Xbox for their friends and came back to PlayStation. And actually, when we were talking before about playing with a buddy and having them watch you or switch back and forth, I could not do that now.
No.
Especially with some of the games that are out there. Like, if someone sat next to me while I'm playing The Last of Us Part 2, I'd be like, dude, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Get out, yeah.
Get out. I need a dark, quiet room to play this absolutely terrifying and gut-wrenching game that's probably going to make me cry.
Oh, yeah.
Get out. Get out.
Yeah, that's not like a, hey, you want to take a stab at this?
Yeah, no. This is my game. I need to experience every second of it by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
that
please
totally
get
makes
out.
sense.
I don't even want to
think-
talk to people about games like that when I'm playing them because it's just the fear of ruining something.
Oh, I know. Especially something like that where you miss something someone's saying,
Yeah.
and the next cutscene or something, you don't understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last
Ruined.
thing I want.
Yep.
Yeah, because those games like that, games like The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2, those are like movies
Oh yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about games today that are like that. And when I was saying earlier about people that only expose themselves to first person shooters and things like that because they don't want to. There's most people that wouldn't label themselves as a gamer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because they just play what everybody else plays. Because Call of Duty's cool, but I'm not gonna sit down and play these story games, right? Because I'm not a gamer.
Right.
But I think there's this whole other side that people are missing. People sit down and they binge watch Netflix shows for hours.
Oh, totally.
Right? And they're obsessed with them. Game of Thrones. Wow. Oh my God. There's people that you would never think that love Game of Thrones, love this fantasy stuff. And then you look at games now and they're like these shows, they're like these movies, but what's even better is you're the main character.
Right.
But they didn't before, and hopefully I don't go off on a rant here, but I might, so warning. Game of Thrones fans, I don't understand, but they became fans because the show was wildly popular, right? Because the book started the trend, the show came out. But those folks, and a lot of them I've met, were not a fan of fantasy ever before. They weren't a fan of Lord of the Rings, which is full of dragons and all that shit. And then you have Game of Thrones, and they're like, oh my God, dude, it's the best show ever. I was like, that's interesting, because, 5 years ago, you thought that fantasy was bullshit because dragons are dumb and for nerds. And now you're talking about, like,
Right.
Daenerys and fucking dragon eggs
Right.
and shit, and she's got a dragon on her shoulder, and you're like,
Well, it's
like,
'cause
what the fuck
first couple-
happened?
It's because the first couple episodes had boobs in them. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
That's why.
That's really what everything boils down to in these days,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. I think there's a market for those non-gamers to become a gamer, and it does disappoint me sometimes when you come across those folks, because I don't think they understand that there's this whole other world to gaming besides just, playing COD on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Even though I respect that. I'm not going to take back what I said before. I do respect
Oh no,
that.
COD's a great time.
But yeah,
Especially
it's,
to play with your buddies.
I have a problem calling it COD.
I don't really like calling it COD.
COD is a fish. And then let's
It's
talk about COD blops for a second here.
Oh God, you just made it worse.
COD Labs.
I'm sorry.
COD Labs.
The game.
Actually,
was
speaking of which,
supreme.
I'm a little excited for the new. I'm usually not too excited for Call of Duty. They just kind of come out, and chances are I'm gonna get it
Yeah.
just because it's Call of Duty,
Yeah.
and there's always something fun about it. But I've always been a fan of Black Ops, and that's only because of zombies. And I played the shit out of that game with my buddy. We've done Easter eggs. We've done all sorts of shit along the Black Ops storyline. If you followed it, it's actually pretty impressive. There's a video on YouTube that outlines, it's almost a 3-hour storyline that that's almost like made into a movie. I don't think it's like full cutscenes that make up the 3 hours, but there's notes, and of course there's little cutscenes and things like that. But basically the entire story of Zombies compiles into like a 3 hour storyline, which is pretty cool.